There are two types of neoplasia or tumor. First one is a benign tumor and second one is a malignant tumor. To understand the nomenclature and classification of tumors, you just have to remember this important suffix word. They are oma, carcinoma and sarcoma. The word oma suffix used to name the benign tumors. For example, benign tumor of fibrous tissue is known as fibroma. Here, oma word is added at the end of fibrous word and it becomes the fibroma. Likewise, benign tumor of cartilage is known as, can you guess it? Yes, it is chondroma. Because we all know that cartilage is made by the chondrocytes. From there, it becomes the chondroma. Let's see another example. Benign tumor of bone is known as osteoma. Because bone is made up of osteocytes, right? Now, let's see two interesting nomenclature. Benign tumor of epithelial tissue is known as papilloma. Here, you will ask why it is not known as epithelioma. So, listen very carefully. Because under the microscope, this type of tumor show the finger-like projection, which known as papillae. That's why benign tumor of epithelial tissue is known as papilloma. Next is a adenoma, means benign tumor of glandular epithelium. Because if you break down this adenoma word, it made by the two words, aden and oma. This aden word comes from the Greek language, which means gland. Now, let's understand the nomenclature of malignant tumor. For this, you just have to remember these two words, carcinoma and sarcoma. First one is a carcinoma. Malignant tumor of epithelial origin is known as carcinoma. This carcinoma word made by the word carcin, which means cancer. Here, it can be any epithelium like squamous epithelium, glandular epithelium or transitional epithelium. For example, malignant tumor of squamous epithelium is known as squamous cell carcinoma. Another example would be malignant tumor of transitional epithelium is known as transitional cell carcinoma and malignant tumor of glandular epithelium is known as adenocarcinoma. Second suffix is sarcoma. Malignant tumor of non-epithelial origin is termed as sarcoma, meaning malignant tumor of all type of tissue except epithelial tissue is known as sarcoma. This sarcoma word made by the two words, sarcos, which means flesh, and oma means tumor. Here, non-epithelial tissue means all tissue except the epithelial tissue. And we can also say like this, tissue that are originate from the mesenchyma. And this non-epithelial tissue include all type of connective tissue, muscle tissue and nervous tissue. And in the connective tissue, it include fibrous connective tissue, bone, cartilage and blood. So remember, malignant tumor of all type of tissue except epithelial tissue is known as sarcoma. For example, malignant tumor of fibrous connective tissue is known as fibrosarcoma. Malignant tumor of cartilage is known as chondrosarcoma. And malignant tumor of bone is known as osteosarcoma. Another example would be malignant tumor of smooth muscle is known as leiomyosarcoma. It is a bit tricky to remember, but I will make it simple. Here, leo means smooth, myo means muscle, and sarcoma denoting the malignant tumor. So, now it is easy to remember, right? Likewise, the malignant tumor of striated muscle is known as rhabdomyosarcoma. Here, rhabdo means road, myo means muscle, and sarcoma denoting the malignant tumor, right? Likewise, malignant tumor of blood vessels is known as hemangiosarcoma. Here, hem means hemoglobin, angio means blood vessel, and sarcoma denoting the malignant tumor. Next two terms are very important to know. They are dermoid cyst tumor and teratoma. Both dermoid cyst tumor and teratoma arise from the embryonic defect and contain teeth, hair, bone, muscles, fat, nerves, etc. But dermoid cyst tumor composed of only one germ layer, that is ectoderm, while teratoma composed of more than one germ layer. Up till now, I can clearly say that you have clearly understood how to give the name to the benign and malignant tumor. Now, let's use this knowledge to learn the classification of tumors. Thank you so much for watching this video till the last. In next upcoming video, I will discuss about the classification of tumor. So stay tuned. Please DM me a word neoplasia and say